Hello everybody, welcome Open 2024. We are visiting one of the most ancient cities of Finland, the former unofficial capital of Finland, Turku. My name is Esa-Pekka Tupala, I'm your host today, and this is Teemu Nissinen. Welcome to the studio, Teemu.
Thank you. Excited to be here again. Second Elite Series event here in Europe. We have had a little bit less than a month break from Copenhagen. It was an exciting event, and I can't wait for this middle stretch of the season.
Yes, Luolavuori disc golf course, is under our feet when we are going to see the perfect grass near Turku city center. It's just a couple of miles away from the hot spot of Turku.
Yeah, and for this year they have changed the layout completely. Previously it's been fairly soft, but now Seppo Paju have designed a way more difficult layout, a lot more OB. So we're gonna see interesting disc golf over the weekend.
Yes. Talking about the weekend, let's see the broadcast times of this event. So June 14th to 16th, we are seeing the FPO take their first tee shots of the day, about 10:40 a.m. for the second feature card and 11 a.m. for the first feature card. Then MPO will start 4:40 p.m. with the second feature, and the 5 p.m. will start the first feature card. Of course, we are live on Disc Golf Network, as always, and the post-production material comes from MDG Media. But we have some storylines for you today, folks. Let's hear about them.
Yeah, Finnish players trying to dominate the field. On FPO side, 13 players of 25 coming from Finland. And obviously we have Evelina Salonen, Silva Saarinen leading the charge. Estonia putting up 6 players of 25 hailing from Estonia. Anneli Touktis-Männistö and Kaidi Alsalu both finishing strong in the last events. And Europe battling for the trophy. No players from the US at the FPO division, unfortunately.
That is true. And if we look at this event a couple of years back, 2022, we only had 3 players in FPO. Last year, we had about 13 to 15, if I recall correctly. But this year, we still have a really stacked field. We have Evelina, we have Henna, we have Rachel Turgeon, Kaidi Alsalu. They are here.
Yeah, and it's great to see Evelina and Henna playing Finland for the first time in a long time. Henna have actually played last time in Champions Cup, which is almost 2 months ago. Evelina have played only one tournament in Copenhagen after that, and obviously she won it after a playoff against Kaidi. So interesting to see how they can manage to do it. Silva and Kaidi and other players, they have been very active. They have been playing these Silver Series events.
Yes.
And interesting to see can they give the pressure to Henna and Evelina early on.
Sure thing. We have Silva Saarinen in the second feature card, and she has just brought home 2 Silver Series wins. So she's gonna be hot on the course with her discs. And we are ready to tee with the second feature card. Please enjoy your time with us. Welcome aboard. Let's go see Turku.
We have our 10:45 tee time. First on the tee from Rauma, Finland, sponsored by Prodigy, Pinja Paisanen. By Prodigy and Fore Turku, Jenni Karppinen. Next on the tee, from Oitti, Finland, sponsored by MVP Discs and Power Grip, Silva Saarinen. And next on the tee, from Tartu, Estonia, sponsored by Latitude 64, Katie Tätte.
Second feature card is off, and you can see the hole number 1 has this obstacle, should we say, in the middle.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it's very well designed. You have you have to play short of the tee or then try to attack over the OB. But FPO and MPO both play on the same tee, so it's 120 over the OB. So FPO field will play on the shorter side, but they also have a shorter basket. So, but it's a very tricky opening hole, and you can throw a big number right off the bat, especially the second shot. If you try to reach the green, you have to go all the way over the OB. So very difficult opening hole to start the tournament.
Yes, for the FPO 191 meters, about 105 meters until the OB river starts.
Silva have no other option than play on the corner on the left side. And she threw too low off the tee, so going to the green would be very risky.
Just clears the out of bounds. She has about 55 to 60 meters to the basket. Jenni Karppinen, she has an option now to go big.
Looks like she's lining up the shot to the green. She's perfectly on the right side of the fairway after the tee shot.
About 90 meters still left. This is low. Can it hang on? No, that's out of bounds for Karppinen. You can see she only came like 5 meters short.
And this is exactly where the big number comes on play. She have to maintain playing probably 95 meters from the basket, and she's throwing for 4 there. So
Not looking good for Karppinen on the first hole.
no.
And then this is overturned, but can it hang on? Needs a skip. And she gets one. Great job from Tinja Väisänen, and she's in the circle for the birdie.
Yeah, she just barely made over the OB, landed actually out of bounds, and they got a good forward skip, and now she's looking like a 6-7 meter birdie putt to start the tournament. Small margins.
Tätte. It's high. too high for gated at the 2 meters until the OB line could have been crossed. That is exactly why this hole number 1 Luolavuori course, the Stag, as Seppo Paju named this layout, it's really tempting to go for the birdie here.
Yeah, wide open, and it's kind of right in front of you, but this is kind of on the hillside, so it's very windy up there, so that makes it hard, and I think that will be a big factor over the weekend anyway on this course. It could be a very windy place to play disc golf.
This might be the only time on the tour when we kind of switch places, for Teemu usually knows all the courses from his pockets, but this is actually my home course practically. So I played this layout, the main layout, several times, and I visit this place weekly. But I believe there hasn't been any big events here before these European Pro Tour events dating a couple of years back. And Teemu, actually, you hadn't played any big competitions here.
No, this is fairly new course, and probably they started to have bigger tournaments somewhere in 2020, 2021, when COVID came. And prior to that time, when there was a tournament in Turku, we always used to play at Laus, the disc golf course that is kind of close by, but I have visited here a couple times just playing casually, and very beautiful park. So, and I'm really enjoying so far all the changes that they have made on this layout, because this is relatively soft layout with normally.
Yes.
But this particular layout for the event definitely has some teeth, and Seppo Paju have done a great job for designing this layout, and they have used a lot of man hours to put everything together.
I had the honors to go through the course with Seppo a couple of days back, and I believe you also messaged and called with him, and that you went through every change that has been done. And the name for the course is the Stag, but it's also stacked with OB, with tempting opportunities. But you have to play wise, and you have to consider the wind that is actually here every single time you play this course. We are very, very near the ocean, and we are up on a hill. Karppinen for the bogey. She gets it. That was a crucial bogey save for Karppinen.
Yeah, definitely saved a bogey and kind of didn't start with a big number after the second shot. That was on a radar. So let's see if Tinia can manage to start with a birdie. It would be huge start.
It would be the second birdie for the FPO field. Just barely on the left. Heidi Laine did card the birdie. And it seems that she will be the only one on round 1 to card the birdie here. Saarinen for par. Solid as a rock. Come to think about it, this might be the most basic green on this very layout. Every single green has trees or has elevation or has slopes. They really thought about every single thing, how to make the rounds more treacherous for the players.
Yeah, on this course there's not too many flat holes, and this might be one of the only ones that doesn't really have elevation change at all.
Here is Silva Saarinen once again. I believe we are going to see these 7 to 8 meter putts from Silva go straight into the heart today. She's been on fire with that putter, and she has won those 2 Disc Golf Pro Tour Europe Silver Series events back to back. We'll be right back after this short break. See you soon.
The 2024 Prodigy Signature Series are here. The Signature Series explores the evolution of flight. Get yours March 22nd on ProdigyDisc.com and at your...
From top competition to the new players. From supporting women to funding new courses. PDGA Europe is much more than competition. Visit pdga.com/join and grow the sport.
Introducing Fractal Line Discs from Prodigy. Fractal is the new visual treatment joining spectrum, glimmer, and glow as an additional aesthetic variation. Fractal line discs utilize a new proprietary processing technique, splashing colors in a complex motif that can trick the eye into seeing patterns while each element remains distinctive and abstract. It's calming, chaotic, and completely one of a kind. Learn more at ProdigyDisc.com.
Think you're the best glitch?
Turku Open 2024. It has finally started. The volunteers and the staff on the course have been there making all the preparations for hours and hours and days on end, and the place looks to be in mint condition. There is a slight chance we are going to get some rain on this FPO round. And until this morning, we saw that those small patches of thunder might also be on the horizon. But we are going to see the first feature card tee off.
Sponsored by Prodigy Discs. Our reigning Turku Open champion, Rachel Durton. Next on the tee, from Keila, Estonia, sponsored by Prodigy Discs, Kaidi Alsalu. Next on the tee, from Pirkkala, Finland, sponsored by Innova and Power Grip, Evelina Salonen. And rounding our feature card today from Rauma, Finland, sponsored by Innova and Power Grip, Henna Blomroos.
All the FPO players have started their first round Turku Open. Great to see Henna, Eve on the field again.
Yeah, definitely. We haven't seen them too much on the last few years on the European side and especially in Finland side. So great to see them both here. Definitely adds competition to FPO field this weekend.
See James Proctor carrying the bag for Evelina this morning, and he's actually playing in the first feature card himself later this afternoon.
And I believe I could be wrong, but it's definitely first time James playing in Turku. And I believe he had probably played just European Open, and last year he was also in Skellefteå, but only visited a couple times in Finland and Europe to play disc golf. So always exciting to see Proctor playing in Europe. Heidi threw, unfortunately, left out of bounds on her opening drive, and now she's out of the position to attack the green, and she's looking to pitch to the corner and trying to save a bogey.
Any fairway you look on this layout, the out of bounds have been brought closer to the fairway center. So in this particular hole, the right side out of bounds has been kept on its place. But the left side, it has been brought to the fairway for about 5 meters, 6 meters. Blomroos throwing 2. This is overturned. It has stability. Solid shot. Almost 10 meters long from the basket. Great shot. It seemed for me, from this angle with this wind, that was overturned and too low.
Yeah, and definitely luckily had enough steam to get over the OB, but this looks better shot.
Yeah, this is the line I was picturing myself seeing from these players. Evelina did it great. Inside 5 meters.
Yeah.
And let's see what happened. Rachel Turton there we can see, and I believe Rachel she's like 10 centimeters out of bounds. Went too long off the tee.
That is unfortunate. And this is to left. She doesn't want a big skip. Yeah, that settles in that had the energy to skip.
Yeah, but looked like some sort of mid-range. So luckily didn't have any ground play, and now she's still looking for a par putt.
Rachel Turgeon already brought home the Scottish Open and Rick Taylor Memorial this year, both from the United Kingdom. Kaidi Alsalu, great approach. Keep your eyes on those flags on top of those baskets. The course's name, Luolavuori, if we translate it straight into English. It's the Cave Mountain disc golf course. And the terrain here really shifts. There are ups and downs, there are slopes, then there are those forest alleys through which we have to throw.
Yeah, and I think one of the big themes on this course is that there is several holes that has a very low ceiling as well, and also a lot of OB. But it's a fun combination of different shots, but lots of low ceiling, lots of tight shots, and then some opening holes with where the wind is a big factor.
Henna Blomroos cards the birdie.
That was a good stroke. Looking very relaxed, starting off the round.
Turgeon just a bit low. Salonen just about 5 to 6 meters left for the birdie. Yep. So there will be 3 birdies for the FPO field on hole 1.
Yeah, Evelina, Henna, and who was the third one? That was Heidi Laine. Yeah, they all throw the disc very far, so they were able to take advantage of the extra distance that they have right on the hole 1.
Rachel Turgeon has to settle for the bogey. Here is Henna Blomroos once again. If you know Henna, you know she likes those hyzer putts, and that might be a bit of a troubling thing today for the wind.
Yeah, obviously more flat you putt, less affected is by the wind. But Henna is putted with a hyzer all her career, so probably known for the read the wind, even though the putting is not the greatest strength on the Henna's game. Definitely driving is the number one thing for her, and the distance. But interesting to see how Henna is playing this weekend. Like I said earlier, this is her first tournament since the Champions Cup, which was almost 2 months ago, and but now she have had time to be at home and practicing. So let's see if she refreshed Henna this week on a course.
Evelina Salonen on tee number 2. And this is going long, and that's out of bounds for Evelina Salonen.
Yeah, you need to throw more like a sweeping hyzer in this hole, and Evelina kind of punched it through. Laser line straight shot and went OB long. And nice looking, more like a high route. Oh, that's also straight.
If that just settles there.
Just barely, and that's a okay position for a second shot. I was surprised that they went with the super low straight shot.
Rachel wants to get to the corner, but that is a fresh line of out of bounds on the left side of the fairway, and Rachel finds the tree branches in the out of bounds, so she doesn't survive from that. Alsalu, this is solid if it settles. Yeah, she has a similar hyzer shot through the gap. Normally the out of bounds on the left side is far behind those trees and bushes. But we don't want those players to walk their way to the victory with those 15, 16 under rounds that you can sometimes see on the main layout. And how's the weather looking this weekend? Current conditions, 59 degrees Fahrenheit, humidity 48%. The wind speed is there. It's about 12 miles per hour, I would say about 15 kilometers per hour. Here is Kaidi Alsalu. Solid shot from Kaidi, just a bit short. You would like to have a bit less distance to the basket. You would like to fade a bit from the tee, more to the left.
They found out the Rachel's disc. I believe she's out of bounds there. She's taking the 1 meter in, but she's too pinched on the left side, so she have to just pinch around the corner and then have a short layup. And now she's playing for another bogey.
Solid shot from Rachel. Nice skip shot. She's well outside circle 2 though. Evelina Salonen has to take the left route, I believe. Yeah, a bit tight, but she gets through inside the circle for the par save. But still not given.
No, but that was a good recovery shot, kind of low ceiling, sidearm shot, and was able to play it well. Now we see Silva. Long putt. Wow. That was like a 16, 17 meter putt from Silva. Obviously, she's known known to make those, but obviously always a highlight reel when making such a long putt. Great shooting from Silva start to round.
What a putt from Saarinen. Here's Blomroos. That's picture perfect. Practically inside the bullseye. Does the line count if you're on the line? Does that count as bullseye?
Yeah, and what a start from Henna. Birdie, start the round, and all the shots have been looking very good so far.
That is exactly how you want to start your round in Luolavuori. There are dangers ahead, and you have to keep your head in the game. Although the temperature is not so high, you still have to remember the hydration. You have to remember to take those snacks with you on the course. You can't let your focus to fade away. Rachel Turton with her fourth. Rising to the left, she now has about 8 to 9 meters in tailwind.
Yeah, not the best up shot from Rachel. A little sloppy and kind of early released it to the left. And that would be very crucial to make the bogey putt.
Alsalu.
Just laying up for a par. That's all she could do after the tee shot. That was a slightly too short.
Salonen. This looks like a basic putt, but the OB is behind the basket and it's downhill and you have a headwind with this putt. If you putt too high, that's gonna skip near the out of bounds, if not out of bounds, and Evelina didn't want to take that risk, so she took a bit low.
Yeah, unfortunate bogey on the second hole coming from Evelina. Now this is crucial to make for Rachel. Sneaks it in on the left side, taking another bogey. And Henna is looking another birdie.
Are we looking at the moving day on the first day of the tournament? Great job from Henna. Things can change quickly here. This area is known to be full of meadows, full of old ancient trees, considering the age scale of Finnish trees. We don't have those Portland Open trees here, but some great scenery coming up to you just after this short break. We'll be back soon.
The best glitch thrower in the world? Enter a Glitch World Championship qualifier in your area, and you can qualify to play against the best one-speed throwers in the world at the Glitch World Championships this fall at Maple Hill. The Players Pack includes 2 exclusive discs, a Plasma Soft Glitch and a Plasma Soft Pitch. You'll also be able to purchase, for the first time ever, Streamline's Parachute, the first hybrid catch disc from Streamline. Sign up for a Glitch World Championship qualifier today.
My relationship with Suga, it's just like a family. Sometimes they just surprise, send me things I'm not even know. When I arrive home, boom, the box.
Such a great product, and Zuka's always there for me whenever I need anything.
After every tournament, I get a call. No matter the results, they're always there supporting me.
They have so many different things that can be a solution for a disc golfer.
That was really one of the main reasons why we partnered, is because I wanted the best of the best.
How do they know I want that? I'm like, duh, that's how the family thinking about you.
The gusty winds keep on coming towards Turku as we see Henna Blomroos and Silva Saarinen starting hot. 2 down after 2 and 3 holes. 5 players still even par. Heidi Laine and Sonja Laine both being even through 10 and 12 holes already. Here you can see the green of hole number 18. It's an island hole.
Yeah, let's see if we can see some drama on that hole. There's a drop zone from 12 meters from the basket, but island hole always brings drama, and especially if it's a last hole.
We are on tee number 3. Blomroos, there is no out of bounds on the left side. And this fallen tree is a big obstacle, but in my opinion, it's more of a mental obstacle.
Yeah, this is a brand new hole for the area. And it's kind of tricky one, but Evelina masters the shot with nice hyzer flip action with the mid-range and looking inside the circle birdie putt. But I think this is a kind of good example that the hole doesn't always necessarily have to be long. It can be relatively short, but if it's technical and there is some elements to it, it could be a great hole. And I think it's more like obviously there's a low ceiling and it's a tight gap, but it's also like a visual thing for players that it probably looks tighter than it is. So we're gonna see probably lots of backhand hyzer flips and then some sidearm skip shots as well.
Considering the wind, that was such a great shot from Evelina. Maybe she took that a little bit right. She was risking to hit the tree. Here is Rachel a moment ago. The only sidearm, the group, and that's overturned. From the tee, the sidearm seems to be a more natural approach for this basket, but 3 of these players chose the backhand.
Yeah, and I'm surprised. Like also Evelina is known for a good sidearm player that relies her sidearm very often, but somehow that this hole suits better her game with the backhand hyzer flip. And Kaidi is stuck on the tree there, and found the left rough.
She's wondering how to approach this situation. Kaidi will be first to go. Great approach. In the bullseye. She's going to take the par and move on. Henna has a gap for sure. Just have to make sure your standing is correct by the book. Ooh, she actually misses the line but gets through almost at least.
Yeah, but probably still looking outside the circle par putt, so struggling on hole 3. And
challenge with the sidearm from the tee is this out of bounds line. Comes pretty quickly on the right side of the basket. If you skip at all, most likely you end up out of bounds. And has to look for the par. Almost. Great line though.
It was a good effort from there. Very unfortunate that she kind of went through everything and very deep in the woods on the tee shot, and here's Evelina making a birdie. So previous hole, Evelina took a bogey and Henna took a birdie, and then vice versa on this hole. So movements on the leaderboard.
As we told you, anything can happen at any time in Luolavuori Disc Golf Course. Turton for par. Solid save. Avoid the mistakes. Keep your head in the game and in the moment. Forget the past. That's how you survive this layout. After this hole 3, they are headed to permanent hole number 8, which is now hole 4. Here's Evelina Salonen once again. Great putt from her. And great shot from the tee, of course. We are expecting a nice amount of spectators this weekend. This is one of the first events in Finland on which we have the Disc Golf Pro Tour ticket sales going on. But still, we have heard that those tickets have been selling quite well.
Yeah, it's great to see that disc golf interest people, and obviously we have lots of top players in the world coming over the weekend play this course. So we want to see hundreds and thousands of spectators over the weekend. And here we are on hole 4, and this is a par 5 for the FPO field. Super long and OB both left and right side from the tee to green. So, and it's also sloping right to left very steeply. So one of the harder holes on the course.
Rachel takes a powerful shot from the tee. Great positioning. Henna aiming to do something similar. It's a bit high. Out of bounds left. I believe she stayed in bounds. Here's the drive from Evelina. Just a moment ago. In the center of the field. Great shot. That on hole number 5. It's the middle tree. This is a tricky one. There are basically 3 gaps from which you can choose. On the right side you have a hyzer gap, flex gap in the middle. For the lefties, on the righty sidearm throwers, you have the left gap. one of the five permanent holes they chose to include on this layout.
Yeah, that's a very beautiful hole. Not too long, but own way difficult. Pretty narrow gap, and if you hit early tree, you could be big time trouble. But a good birdie hole for sure.
Alsalu throwing 2. Going high around the one big tree, fairway. And that's looking like a par for Kadi Alsalu.
I'm throwing towards you.
Churchin going high, over out of bounds. And Heisering back in. Solid shot.
I said, in fact, I'll keep that out. Yeah, my toes current. No.
228 meters. Par 5 for the FPO. They have actually combined the holes 8 and 9 for this one hole, but 9 is actually played from the other side of those trees, from down there. So now we are playing to the, should we say, the nearest basket on hole number 1 to tee number 9. But this is the furthest possible pin position considering this hole, and this is out of bounds for Henna, Heisering to the left. Yeah, she's now looking to save the out of bounds par at best.
Yeah, bit early release to the left, like on previous hole. We'll see where she's gonna throw her fourth shot.
And I was actually wrong just a moment ago. I did remember that this was a par 4 also for the FPO, but this is a par 5. So Kaidi is in the middle of the fairway. She might be looking at the birdie if she gets the disc near the pin. Let's see this fairway. Through the gap. Heiser into the middle. And keep going on forward. To the pin on the right.
Yeah, for the ladies, they're aiming to get their second shot here on this bigger area where they would have a, say, 80-90 meter approach to this small green that slopes right to left quite heavily. Third hardest hole so far today, so definitely one of the hardest holes on the course, and big numbers are in the play since the OB.
Ooh, and that was really close for Kaidi Alsalu.
OB is challenging you. Tee to green.
I would say maybe around like these two sticks. Maybe a little further forward. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
Is about 60 meters, 65 meters from the pin. Just outside the frame on the right side, there is a 50-meter pin or mark. Great shot from Blomroos. She's gonna save the par. These top players on the field have the strength to even go for a long look for the eagle. Oh, that seems to be just in bounds for Evelina. That wasn't her best shot.
No, she pulled the upshot a little bit to the right, and also the wind didn't help there, but luckily stayed in bounds and now inside the circle looking another birdie.
Turton. Yep. About 4 meters left for the 4. It's par 5. The park looks great from this drone angle. On the top right corner you can see one group heading towards the tee of 6. And thank you Flight Factory for giving us these drone shots throughout the weekend. Salonen for birdie. Downhill, crosswind left to right. And just a bit high in the middle of the band. Evelina will take a par. Turgeon gets the birdie. Kadi Alsalu next. She also takes the birdie. And those are the only two taking the 4 on this hole. Blomroos, Evelina Salonen picking up the pars. They're going to continue their way back a bit to number 5, where we have Silva Saarinen driving her disc on hole number 6. This a bit left, risking the out of bounds. It stays in. 364 feet, just about 110 meters for the FPO.
And that hole is definitely the windiest place on the course. It's the highest point, wide open, and downhill shot. Looks relatively simple, but the wind can make it extremely difficult. We have seen lots of videos from players on the practice days throwing that hole, and yeah, not the easiest task.
Certainly true. The MPO pin is located a bit further on the same island. There is actually a ridge going on the right side. If you hit the ridge exactly or the right side of it, you might get a skip forward and then the disc might turn to its side and roll out of bounds, right?
Yeah, and left side you have a more room. Right side is pretty tight. So it's one of those that you have to trust your disc when you're throwing kind of over the OB right side, that eventually it will come back to inbounds.
Kaidi Al-Salou first on the tee. Choosing the hyzer flip in the middle. Does it fade? At least getting through the gap. She might have hit the last big tree before the basket. Turgeon seems to be aiming for the right hand side. That's the tree. Salonen on the right side. Almost gets through everything. You have to choose the exactly right stability for the disc. And going fast and overstable.
Se meni ehkä outtiin.
Might have gone out of bounds, says Henna herself. Left to be seen. Looking at your co-leader, Silva Saarinen. Hole 6, the approach. Oh, and hits the top of the cage there from way down. Silva trying her very best to give all the highlights on the first round of the event. Turgeon. That's a mistake for Rachel. Barely inside circle 2 now for the par. 90 meters for the FPO, 295 feet. I believe Henna wants this to skip. Interestingly going high. I was anticipating for a lower shot with a skip. She hits the tree, still outside circle 1. And if I'm not mistaken, that one birch might be on her way to the basket. Be staring right up to it. Salonen. Great layup for the par in the bullseye. If you get the perfect shot from this tee, there's a great chance you might even get 2 strokes for the whole card. As we have seen, the approach shots are still heavily guarded by these last trees. Also in the bullseye. seconds, so she's putting for the par in the circle. Henna giving it all she's got. She's going to settle for the bogey at best. So 2 birdies in a row for Henna, then a bogey and a par. And now another bogey coming up. Silva tapping in her par, but that was jiggling in the chains. A bit too high for her taste. Turgeon seemed like settles for the bogey for the wind, because of the wind. Some pars and bogeys coming up. Alsalo takes her 3. Blomroos cards the 4.
Couple birdies and couple bogeys. This hole, and we're going on hole 6. But I think this course, if we're looking at this course at the moment and the shots, I think this course will give a great test this weekend. All the players, very difficult, but still like not too difficult. It gives chances if you're really on and you place your drives on the correct spots, but it can bite you on any time. So and I think also we have it's not every hole is not looking the same. We have a good mix of holes. We have a long holes that has a more OB. We have these shorter little tight wooded holes as well. So so far it's a very good combination of different holes, and that kind of tests all the skills you have. So we are gonna have a exciting weekend ahead.
That is very true, of course. Coming from Teemu Nissinen in the booth with me, Esa-Pekka EP Tupala, this weekend. Silva Saarinen and Heidi Laine sharing the lead with 2 under both, although Heidi's over double the holes ahead of Silva Saarinen, and Silva only has 2 birdies and the rest are pars. Heidi Laine has 1 double bogey in her card and 1 bogey. So 5 birdies for Laine. It's just about focusing to the next shot here in this layout, and it's really interesting to see all the players on this field to play the course, for nobody has advantage here. There are weeklies kept on the permanent layout, but it's considerably easier layout. Even we have, I believe, 4 layouts permanently coming to this course this summer. So 2 tees and 2 baskets on every single hole. And even the longest layout is considerably more easier than this Turku Open, the stag layout. Seeing the second feature card on hole number 7, which is the permanent hole 11. No birdies on that hole yet. And now back live on tee of 6. Taking the straight shot towards the basket. Solid.
Evelina is looking more with a traditional big hyzer route that needs to sit. That's the difficult part. It's a right to left wind with the downhill. So even though if you started very much on the right side, but when the wind is taking your disc, it travels a lot from right to left.
And Rachel,
but if you throw the straight shot and it turns over, it does just that.
it was seemingly familiar disc in Rachel's hand, and I believe that's her straight disc. It was interesting choice on this hole. Downhill, crosswind.
Yeah, she just wanted to throw a laser straight shot, but overturn it a bit, and she knew right after the hand that when the disc turned, it's never gonna come back.
Does this settle for Henna? Yeah, circle's edge. We have 4 birdies on this hole, and all of those have come inside 8 meters. That's inside 24 feet. Now Saarinen, her second, is par 4. Such a beautiful shot and great amount of control on the throw.
Yeah, that hole that they're playing is fairly difficult to birdie, so majority of the players looking par at best on that hole, number 7. And if you go OB, there's a drop zone that is probably 30 meters from the basket, and this hole is technically island hole as well, even though the island is very big. But right after the tee, you're OB long time, and then you have this big island. And Rachel putting her shot somewhere in 5 meters and looking another bogey at best. A little unfortunate start for Rachel. And I believe she won last year. Last year was European Pro Tour event. Managed to win that year ago, and but now the start is not the strongest from Rachel. That is usually very steady player, and it doesn't make too many big mistakes. But
already 3 bogeys and just 1 birdie on her card.
Yeah, and she have already 3 OB shots, so that's the thing here to avoid. OB is in play pretty much on every hole, and with this kind of wind, it kind of gets you very easily. So let's see if she can kind of clean the card a bit and avoid the OBs.
Blomroos for the birdie. Side C1. Just a bit low to the headwind, but that putt towards the headwind with the out of bounds behind the basket. Turgeon doesn't hit the basket. stays inbounds. This is for double bogey now. Into the tailwind. That's in. It's going to be a 5 for Turtle. Drop down on the leaderboard. 4 over through the first 6 holes. Also for the par. That's in. How about Henna? Yep, in. Great par save from Eve. And off they go towards hole 7. That is a big one. 178 meters, 583 feet. The distance is not grand, but the hole has a very lurking out of bounds on the left side. The fairway is skippy, and the wind is pushing the discs from right towards the out of bounds left. Saarinen currently on tee of 8. Going backhand, interesting. Although not interesting for Silva Saarinen, known to be a great backhand thrower. What a shot from Silva.
Yeah, that was a picture perfect hyzer flip. I believe this is one of the permanent layout holes, and it's a bit tricky. You think off the tee that this is a must get birdie, but OB is lurking there, and the gap is relatively small. And here we see on a replay, beautiful hyzer flip, and the disc held the angle all the way till the end.
And barely missing the tree on the right side of the gap. But Silva makes it happen. Now back to tee of 7, Kaidi Alsalu. Oh, and she releases this too much right. And that is risking the out of bounds.
Ideally, you would want to be on the left side, close to the fence and close to the OB line.
This tee shot is perfect for Evelina, who's known to force those overstable discs with a slight anhyzer and with huge amount of power. Keep it low and don't allow the disc to get on its edge to avoid skipping. Henna is a bit overturned, but gets through the branches. But that's not a spot for the birdie if you don't have a powerful sidearm, and that's one thing Henna has. So if she has an open look, she can try to aim a sidearm towards the gap and skip towards the basket. Rachel Turton choosing the sidearm from the tee, and this is risking out of bounds left. Settles inbounds.
It opens up a little around there, right? It goes like, I don't know. I think the OB goes like that, so maybe check first. Yeah, maybe I'll do a provisional.
Alsalu opting for a provisional throw.
I'll do a provisional.
Provisional 3, that's in the middle.
Audrey, dis à Duge de checker ton sac.
Also fighting her way to keep the scorecard clean, even par. On this hole, it just might change and
Pour dire toujours.
she might end up over
Pour
par.
dire toujours, c'est still.
Still unclear whether guide is inbounds or out.
If it's me, it's safe. Yeah.
So just barely safe. As you can see from the camera. Shout out to the crew on the field. Thank you for giving us those in the action images all over the course during this weekend once again. Doesn't have many options. He just wants this in the middle of the fairway, out of the woods. Silva Saarinen putting for birdie on hole 8. She's in for the birdie. Great job, Silva, and she's going to take the solo lead, 3 down. That is a really, really hot start for this course.
Evelina is in prime position for her second shot, and great sidearm shot inside the circle. I have a hard time to believe that we would see many birdies on this hole, but Evelina sets up on a clinic how to attack this hole.
That might just be the only birdie we see on the hole today. The second feature card wasn't able to card any birdies. Blomroos, second. That's in the middle of the gap, still looking way outside circle 2 for the birdie. Blomroos still has a chance. Saarinen teeing off on hole 9, and that's the one mistake to make as a backhand thrower. For now, you practically have a really tough time to get onto the green, which is a brand new green. The basket is tucked in the middle of three big trees. And usually when you end up behind that last tree on the fairway from the tee, you'd like to throw a sidearm. It's interesting to see what Silva chooses to go with. Alsalo risking and trying to go on the right side of the gap, but hits a tree. There's plenty of golf to be played this weekend. The broadcast tells us that there might be rainy days coming, or should we say a rainy Sunday. So you want to gather up as many strokes as you possibly can on these first 2 days. Turgeon now playing 3, going high above.
Okay, that's interesting.
That's rolling inside the bullseye for Rachel Turgeon. She's most likely going to cart the par.
Yeah, I didn't thought about that. There is also a route to go over the trees, and you rarely see like a kind of spike hyzer with the sidearm. It's a very, very difficult shot. Much easier to throw with the backhand, but Rachel executed perfectly.
Alsalo throwing 4 in the circle, looking at a bogey. That would be her second today. Henna. Hey, a soft beat from Blomroos. Ends up in circle 1 for the par.
I'm here. I still can't see. I don't know quite where I landed.
You're in.
For me first? Yes.
Evelina Salonen. And to get the lone birdie on the hole 7 for the FPO. And it goes through. That's bad luck for Evelina Salonen.
30.
As we heard James Proctor. That's dirty. That truly is solid putt from Evelina.
Yeah, but just a bit high left side with the hyzer, and it just there is a space between the first row and the second row of the chains, and when you put with the hyzer and high, and just so often kind of this turns vertical, and then it's easily goes through the chains, and unfortunately that happened to Evelina there. Solid stroke though, but just a bit too high.
Yep. Saarinen taking the backhand behind the tree, and that is the risk you take. The FPO basket is actually tucked on the left side. Yeah, that was my mistake I made earlier. So the FPO is playing to the left side basket, which is approachable with the sidearm. There are some smaller trees guarding the basket for the FPO. The MPO basket is tucked between the three trees further to the right. And Saarinen just managed to get behind the Guardian bushes. Looking at the birdie. And she gets it. Great job from Silva. And I'm happy to be wrong.
Yeah, and Silva moves to 4 under par, looking very good early on, and kind of keeping the momentum that she have gathered on the last couple victories.
Considering the basket placement, Henna Blomroos and Evelyn Salonen, even Rachel Turton might have the chance to go for the eagle on that hole. If they get the disc through the gap, they are looking at circle 2 putt for the eagle. Circle 2. But now, before that, we have a permanent hole number 5, which is hole 8 on this stag layout in Luolavuori Disc Golf Course. Welcome to follow Turku Open 2024, first day of the event, live with Disc Golf Network.
4, Hella 4, Rachel 4.
The FPO field has almost tackled half of the course combined. Salonen opting for the sidearm on tee of 8. It's looking great. That's because it is in the bullseye for Evelina Salonen. Picture perfect.
Yeah, this hole suits very well for Evelina's sidearm shot, and here we're seeing Henna throwing a sidearm, and we don't see these too often.
Takes it a bit too much left. Now she has a straight look towards the basket, though.
I don't remember, by the way, last time I have seen Henna throwing a sidearm off the tee. Maybe that's like a new skill she's developing at the moment, but yeah, we very rarely see her throwing sidearm. But Rachel is known for her sidearm, and
risking the out of bounds, but barely stays in and inside the circle just a bit. Alsalu, the only one taking the backhand, righty backhand from the tee, and this is surprising, for I was counting on that Henna would be throwing the backhand. This is too much turn. It's a Guardian. So 2 birdie looks
without any wind.
and 2 players trying to salvage the par. Silva Saarinen, your current leader. Throwing on the tee of 10th. Turning it too much right, and there is out of bounds lurking on the right. Blomroos. She has the low-hanging branch messing up with her game plans. Another sidearm from Blomroos. This time it's inside the circle, about 6 meters left, and this is the only raised basket on the course. Alsalu for her second. White needs to miss that one bush, and she's a bit under it. Still has a look for the par. Jenni Karppinen on 10. Going through the branches and skipping towards the basket. Great shot from Jenni Karppinen.
And from the first camera angle, I even thought about she might have hit the basket, but barely misses the basket and gets it inside the circle. That is a very difficult hole. It's kind of very narrow downhill. Have the big bushes on the both sides, and then OB lurking right behind the basket. So great drive from Jenni.
Alsalu for the par. Just inside C1. Just a bit too low.
Unfortunate bogey. This is not that difficult hole. I think one of the easiest holes on the course, but just super crucial to hit the first initial gap. After that, this is a birdie or par hole, but
Rachel Turton also making the miss low. Maybe the only raised basket gets into your head more easily. We've used to seeing many of these raised baskets during one layout, but this is the only one here in Turku. Blomroos for par. And she's a bit high. So that's going to be a bogey for Henna Blomroos. Her third. 3 bogeys and 3 pars for the last 6 holes for Henna Blomroos. After the magnificent start of the round with 2 birdies in a row from 1 and 2. It's a tough time for Blomroos. Turgeon gets the par. Evelina still waiting for her turn to be putting for the birdie. Gets the birdie. Great job from Evelina. Alsalu tapping in. Silva Saarinen in the lead and still bogey free for the round, and considering her card, Olivia Kinsted survived 6 holes before a bogey. And then she took a bogey and another on hole 7 and 8. But Silva Saarinen currently on hole 10, still without a birdie. And here's Karppinen managed to save a bogey. Stuff happening on the putting green on hole 10. Silva Saarinen tapping in for the par. So she was in bounds from the tee and managed to get the disc under the basket with her approach. Remaining on the solo first place. -4 for the day. Heidi Laine finished her round. And the only bogeys Heidi Laine took were on holes 3 and 4. Before she took a double bogey 7. But after that, 5 birdies and all pars.
Look at
Here
this.
is Salonen. And She's in circle 2 for the eagle too. What a shot from Evelina.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much maximum shot you can get off the tee. Very well thrown, and now should be looking easy birdie. Let's see how much there is branches and trees on the way, and can she run the eagle putt?
Turton does this turn. There's another way to the basket on the left side, and Rachel has an opportunity to go through there. And Blomroos trying to follow Evelina. Needs to turn. He does, and she misses everything, and this is even further maybe than Evelina. What a shot!
Yeah, very similar shots. That is just shown their strengths. They're so good throwing distance drivers. So much power, so much angle control. And because I believe rest of the field to getting somewhere close to the corner tree is like a successful drive, but their discs were on the Anheuser angle on that when they passed it to tree, so they have a serious advantage on the power that they have on the drives.
And this is a soft par 4, but in the end, only the total amount of throws matter.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it's a very good kind of sign from the course design and the layout overall. When you have you have a couple holes that it like can get to your head that this is must to get. This is like easy birdie, so to say, and then you have a bunch of holes that you have to dig deep and take pars and kind of move on. So we want to have a mixture of holes, harder and more easier ones.
That is true. Alsalu throwing her second. And that's in the bullseye. Yeah, Henna and Eve both have an open look from circle 2. And there is not so much stuff behind the basket, so they have a pretty safe run. There is one tree on the left side behind which is a bad position to save a birdie, but otherwise solid chances for a couple of eagles here. Turton throwing her second, a bit long, but that's about 8 meters left for the birdie. Most definitely the easiest hole for the field if we consider the par. They have the one tree in the middle. That is true. And it has gotten some leaves, so a hyzer putt coming up for Evelina. Almost hits the basket. And Henna is just beside her. She can stretch a bit to the right side, and she has an open look. This would be a big one for Henna. Hits the basket, settles in for the birdie, so no eagles today.
Yeah, but two great runs. And what a great drives.
We're looking at our first star frame of the day.
This is an important part for Rachel. Stop the bleeding. Get some momentum going to the back nine. Great putt. Good rhythm on the stroke. And a dead center pole. Well executed. And hopefully she can turn the tables and play a strong back nine.
Kadi Alsalu on the edge of the bullseye. Takes the birdie. Evelina still left. It's going to be a star frame for the first feature card.
Very well executed from the feature card here on hole number 9. And that's about it. That was the front 9 of the first round. And now let's go to the commercial and then we get back to the back 9.
You Play Disc Golf is your passport to teaching and learning the game. Our mission? To teach disc golf and make it accessible to everyone worldwide. From Alaska to Africa, Guatemala to Canada, and beyond, You Play Disc Golf has spread its wings teaching the love of the game across the globe. Get involved in our movement to make disc golf a universal joy. Explore youplaydiscgolf.org and join us in helping people find flight.
Live at the Disc Golf Network from Turku Open 2024. The back 9 has started with these tee shots. Evelina Salonen gets through the tree, but on the edge of the out of bounds on the right.
Yeah, I believe that went just out of bounds on this hole. All the tall grass is out of bounds. So not super easy hole. Over 100 meters in a kind of severe downhill with the tight gap, and this needs to sit down.
This is going towards the out of bounds left. There is more room on the left, but
it needs to
settles in.
Yeah,
I believe settles in. 115 meters downhill, a par 3 for both FPO and MPO. Standard OB rules. Fairway. This is looking solid for Henna. This is looking great.
No.
Settle in.
Ooh.
And it sticks. The tall grass from years past has been cut down and it really grabs your disc.
Yeah, that was very well executed. Right outside the bullseye. Let's see if Kaidi can answer.
Oh, that's not good.
She's been pulling majority of her drives today on the right side. So just something going on her 4-minute drive today.
Evelina Salonen, after that birdie on hole number 9, she's currently tied with the second place holder Heidi Laine, but she's most likely looking at the bogey at best. It has to be a throw-in if it's a par.
Yeah. Another bogey most likely coming, and that is a story here this week that you just need to avoid the OBs. They're lurking on every hole, but just avoid OBs, keep it on the fairway, and kind of that way you should be just fine. And
that might still be in bounds, but barely.
It's very close.
Alsalu was in bounds from the tee.
That was a very, very good break. But now she might be out of bounds, and if that went out of bounds, then looking most likely another bogey. Or double.
Salonen inside the circle, but not under the basket.
Oh, that she kind of yanked that, and just laughing with the caddy, James Proctor.
It's important to keep the humor in play and your mental state light.
Yeah. They were discussing there, like James was curious why he chose to putt that. James said he would not even get with the putting stroke there, and Evelina wasn't confident throwing a soft backhand shot, so she just tried to get like a big wrist putt there, and looks like Kaidi's just out of bounds.
That is true, so this is gonna be... Oh! And Kaidi Alsalu was aiming to lay up the double bogey, but now she's behind the tree. That was such a fast layup. I'm really surprised.
Yeah, should have taken the time and kind of like, no matter if it's a layup, you just have to put it under the basket now. Now it's a true test. Can she make a double bogey putt?
Turgeon missing the basket for the birdie. She's looking at the par at best.
Yeah, Rachel have been struggling today on the putting green. Last hole she managed to have a good stroke, but other than that, she's been kind of all over the place, a little bit low, and then also a couple air balls, like we just saw. But this is very crucial.
She gets it in, but it could have been much more easier for her.
Yeah, and at least she got like a one good throw on this hole. That would have hurt big time, because she just tried to lay up and hit the first tree. That was That was so well executed as well.
It's so nice to see Evelina getting back her confidence on the putting green. She's done really well. 2 wins back to back on the tour. First the Champions Cup, then the Copenhagen Open a month back. She has to cut the bogey after the out of bounds, so she's now back 2 under for the round. Turgeon for par. Blomroos for the birdie. That's a great birdie to card for Henna Blomroos. Taking her scorecard 1 under for the round. Let's go see a moment. Powered by Nakwa Lifestyle Power. This big power shot from the tee of 10 from Henna Blomroos. Literally sticking it near the bullseye.
Yeah, and I believe that has to be one of the only birdies on the field. One of the harder holes to get, so I have a hard time to believe.
Yep, only 1 birdie for the day.
Yeah. It's just so long and very technical. And hole 13 where Silva is, this is pretty much identical in a way. Similar length and downhill and kind of tight gap. But even more OB.
Oh, and that turned out low, but luckily gets a skip towards the basket. Actually on hole 10, there was 1 birdie marked down, but that was before they had the time to mark Henna's birdie. So Anneli Togias managed, they actually took a birdie, and that was about 5 meters away. So great try from Anneli too on the hole. And Henna going through everything, and has a straight look for the basket. And this is a really, really difficult shot, for the slope from left to right is pretty heavy. FPO plays this hole 11 from the permanent tee box. So 163 meters, par 4. The shot from Henna Blomroos was still about 90 meters from the tee, 100 meters through the woods. Evelina Salonen wants a skip 2, and this is picture perfect for Evelina. Looking at the basket. Great job from both pins there. How about Kaidi Alsalu? Currently 3 over par. This needs to come down. This is looking good. Yes, great shot from Alsalu.
Vrai. Après, tu peux leur dire que je vais changer de batterie.
Let's roll back that Zuka replay for Silva Saarinen. 45 feet, and she gets it done for the birdie. Silva's on fire. Just pure fire now.
Yeah.
5 down for 12.
Yeah, especially on the putting green today. She already carded multiple circle 2 putts. I guess that's nowadays what we can expect, but it's still a clinic always when you see that.
Yeah, that was from 14 meters, and the previous one from hole 3 was 18 meters, so almost on the edge of C2. Something that plays tricks on you on this hole 11 is your lie and your footing on your second shot, for this slope becomes an uphill. And it's really hard to get any valid run-up for your shot. So most likely players should be throwing standstill to avoid any mistakes. Looks like Evelina will take a small run-up. Really difficult.
It looks like a circle 2 somewhere.
We heard some branches there.
Yeah. Need some early leaves and
Alsalu.
This is prime position.
This needs to turn. Hang on. Yeah, that's inside circle 1. Great job from Kaidi. She really needs a birdie now. Turton, her second. This is looking good. That's because it is 4 meters for the birdie. Great job from Rachel. Last event, Beaver State Fling took 8th place there in Oregon, USA. How about Henna? She's a bit long, but she settled before those trees, and this might be the best position for Henna on this fairway because she likes to throw those turning backhand shots. This is looking so good. Go in! Almost hits the base of the basket. That is played by the bull from Henna Blomroos. In the bullseye for birdie. Great job from Champions Cup, taking 2nd place, challenging Evelina on the last final stretch. Long tournament. Before that, Music City Open took 3rd place. 13th at Texas States, 11th at the United States Women's Disc Golf Championship, 4th at Austin, 6th at Waco, 5th at chess.com. So really, really great resume for Henna Blomroos on this 2024 season. Evelina, great putt, just a bit low on the steam. That's going to be a putt for par for Eve. Alsalu now 6 meters, a bit uphill. That's a bit left for Kaidi. Not able to get a birdie after the sudden double bogey on the previous hole 10. Turton for birdie. That's in. Great job from Rachel. Some darker clouds on the sky, but still no rain. And we hope to keep it that way. Delsalu taking the par. Henna Blomroos in the bullseye. Takes the birdie. Superb execution. Evelina taking the par. And folks, if you are looking for live scores, or if you are curious who's leading different stats this year, look no further. See the live scores and stats from all Pro Tour events and season-long DGPT stats at dgpt.com. And you can scan the QR code down below for more. And we are gonna have a small break here. We'll be back in just a few.
I think this golfing can improve our community in many ways. It brings people together.
That maybe some of these kids who feel a little bit lost could find something like disc golf, find friends, find people to come together and play the sport.
Encouraging people to work together, kids to know one another, love one another.
A way for these kids to have a really fun thing to do together.
I think that's what we need in the world, love one another and do life together.
So you want to throw further. Okay, here's the plan. Step 1, join the Power Disc Golf Academy. Step 2, watch Holland Hanley's lessons on how to properly select discs that are appropriate for your skill level. Step 3, watch Paul Ulibarri's X-Step lessons to help you build a solid foundation for generating power. Step 4, watch Simon Lazat's lessons on upper body mechanics to make sure you're giving the disc the best opportunity for distance. Step 5, watch Ezra Aderhold's max distance lessons to build your most powerful swing. Step 6, use our fieldwork drills to dial it all in. And the last step, go out and crush your personal best distance record. Ready? Go.
What up, guys? We have the brand new MX2, good mid-range for power backhand thrower, very good for sidearm throwers. The MX2 is a very reliable overstable disc that's finding its way into my bag, and I hope it finds its way into yours.
We are here. We are one. We will fight. We will fall. We will prevail. From the fjords of Norway to the shores of Spain, from the fire of Iceland to the hope of Ukraine, 30 countries, one voice. Go Europe.
Welcome back to see Turku Open opening day, Friday the 14th of June. Silva Saarinen leading the tournament after 13 holes. Tucked behind her, Heidi Laine already done with her round, so great job from Heidi, taking only 2 blemishes on the scorecard on holes 3 and 4. And Henna Blomroos, Evelina Salonen battling their way. Currently on hole 12. This is looking great from Henna. Can it roll down? Yeah, edge of circle 1. This is a brand new hole. And one of the reasons, unfortunately, they have to take this layout down after Sunday, for we are using those pathways. This is an open park usually, but for this weekend it is closed for only disc golf. Throwing downhill to the permanent 18th basket, but this is overturned for Rachel and it doesn't get in bounds. So that is a mistake of the tee for Rachel Turton. Salonen taking this low. She wants a skip. Is it a good skip? Oh, this rolls out of bounds and it doesn't come back. That's a mistake from Evelina. She took it too low.
Yeah, and even though she had a very good angle, but the fairway is not like super, flat. There's all kind of different.
Yeah, there are bumps and stones and rocks there.
And so normally it would have taken, hyzer skip close to the basket, but now it kind of took reverse skip and rolled straight to the out of bounds. So very unfortunate, but it's kind of one of those things that you can't really, when it's like when the fairways is like that, you really can't count on the skip. It's better to play in the air rather than give it a chance to have such an unlucky break.
Saarinen on tee of 14, and she
did that
for a region.
Yeah, I did that miss mandatory, but that hole 14, that's definitely the hardest tee shot on the course. Super narrow, and it kicked immediately to the right, and there is also a mandatory quite close, so hopefully she didn't miss that.
Turton making sure of the distance. Looking from the tee, the fairway actually opens towards the left side, and then starts the out of bounds road. So a small part of the road is in bounds. But now the run-up is downhill, and just on the previous hole it was uphill. And that is the risk on the run-up.
She needs to get lucky.
I believe she does.
Not bad.
I believe that settles in bounds.
Yeah, that would be immediate rethrow from the same spot.
Yep.
But got very, very lucky break. And now, but still looking for maybe a double bogey. So this is Silva. Silva didn't miss the mandatory, but this is already her third shot. But it's looking great, and she put it inside the circle.
Great job from Silva.
Okay. Kiitos.
Alsalo tucked behind those trees, but luckily in bounds, and that's in the bullseye for the par. For me, one of the most interesting holes on the layout for sure. Evelina Salonen taking the disc high, circle to's edge. And she's gonna be carding a bogey after the OB shot from the tee. How about Rachel Turton? Is she able to save the bogey? She's just laying up. Doesn't want any problems coming back. Henna Blomroos, 5 birdies already. 3 bogeys from 3 to 8.
And looking her 4th in a row.
Gets it done, Henna Blomroos from Rauma, Finland. 4 birdies in a row, just like Teemu told you seconds ago. And she's now tied for the 2nd place with Heidi Laine, 2 down for the opening round. Rachel Turton looking at the double bogey. That's in. Kadi Alsalu securing the par. Evelina Salonen will be dropping down 2 strokes behind Henna Blomroos and Heidi Laine with the bogey from few feet. Here is the putt from Henna Blomroos once again for birdie. About 16 feet, but with these gusts of wind, with those uneven feet behind you, below you, sorry. Those are no easy putts.
No, definitely. A good stroke there. And, looking very strong. And at the moment, the leaderboard also, it does look that the 4 players are under par, and I definitely hope that the players from 5th and worse are not gonna kind of drop too far away from the kind of the lead, so we would have a tighter back going on the Sunday. But at the moment, it looks like that the 4 players are separating themselves a little bit from the others, but we'll see how the leaderboard lives rest of the day and tomorrow. I believe this is a completely new hole on this course.
Yes.
Over 100 meters and severe down uphill. So our players needs to full power drive to get there, and Henna Blomroos.
What is this? 105 meters and Henna gets through everything and she's inside circle 1. I didn't give that disc even the slightest chance to get into the green. Those bushes and trees on both sides are thick. But she gets it done. Alsalu, this is a bit to right. Does it hyzer? Yep. That's solid shot.
That also shows the difference between Henna and kind of others. Evelina has a similar power, but they have a huge advantage on these kind of holes.
Let's go. This looks great and it skips forward. That's inside circle 1 for Evelina Salonen. Rachel Turton also has the power. Can she play the wind and stability of the disc correctly? It's a bit high. Does it get through? No, it doesn't. And this is exactly what I thought Henna's disc would end up doing. Let's take another moment. powered by Nakua Lifestyle Power. This was a powerful shot. It had the turn, and it gets through the trees, almost tickling the bullseye. What a shot from Henna. Thank you once again, Nakua Outdoor here for that. Teemu, have you heard about that? Being on the top also requires some top of the field luck on your side.
Yeah, and I mean sometimes it just, I don't know why it seems like it happens always on the top of the leaderboard, but it just somehow they get a bit more luckier than the rest.
When it comes to the discussion about taking advantage of those good breaks, as we see Silva Saarinen rolling on hole number 14, and she gets the par.
That was a great par save.
Talking about taking advantage of those, of those situations you end up in. Silva did end up taking a bogey on hole 13. So this very hole, she didn't quite catch the tree. Rachel Turton looking at the basket, and there is the OB just behind. It's actually inside the circle. It's too low for Rachel. Alsalu for par. I'm sorry, that's now for par, so that was a layup. Layup for the tree. Evelina Salonen looking at the birdie. This would be a big deal for Eve. A bit high. Hyzering too early. Just outside the bullseye for the birdie. 9 feet left. That's in. She's gonna like that.
Yeah, and that's 5 birdies in a row, keeping the momentum, and now they're heading to hole 14, which is very difficult off the tee. Let's see if Henna can keep the momentum and clear the gap off the tee.
Rachel Turton taking the par. Here is Silva Saarinen, tee number 15. Also a brand new hole, throwing down. This is normally a warm-up area for the permanent course, but now 2 of those training baskets are gone, and the last one still standing. Saarinen, solid shot from the tee, but a bit short, even though, should we care that it's short? She's known to be showing us those big putts. You can see some mountain bike course on the higher side of the Luolavuori hill. Thanks again, Flight Factory, for these beautiful drone footages during the event. The citizens of Turku just had the opportunity to vote. How would they like to give some more opportunities for those outdoors areas to be proceeded and taken further? And this Luolavuori area actually got got the main prize, should we say, and they got about 270,000 euros to take that Luolavuori disc golf course and that mountain bike course to be more of a safe place for people and get some better infrastructure there. So thank you, City of Turku and the citizens for voting.
Wow. Oh, that's a great news.
Here is the leaderboard now. Henna Blomroos, 4 down, tied with Silva Saarinen on the top. Heidi Laine. That's a solid score, that -3. I wasn't actually sure if that's gonna held up through the whole course, but it seems that that wind, gusty wind, is making things a bit tricky. And this is one of the tees that I myself have been struggling a great deal. This shot is really intimidating. And Henna makes it perfect. If it holds, and it's through the second gap. That's huge.
That should be relatively simple-ish shot to the green. So prime position for the hole.
This needs to hold on.
Yeah.
And it gets a favorable kiss from the tree. Great shot from Kaidi. Salonen. And that is fine. That's really, really fine. If you can turn the disc to the right side of those last 2 threes, then you have a straight downhill shot to the basket. From where Henna and Kaidi are, it's more of a sweeping, slower shot. And that's a big mistake from Turton. As we saw from Silva, the par is salvageable with 2 huge shots, huge executions. But is Rachel Turton safe from the mandatory? That's the question. Teemu, what are you suspecting would be a hot round for FPO considering the whole tournament? If the weather stays nice.
I mean, looking today's Silva and Henna, they're currently 4 down. I think they have been played fairly well, even though Henna has 3 bogeys. But this is one of those courses that it's fairly hard to be bogey free. So I would say 7-8 under sounds like a pretty amazing round of disc golf.
That is true.
From the FPO side.
It has to be picture perfect if you want to get 8 down.
Yeah. So 6, 7, 8 down, somewhere there. And winning score probably somewhere 13, 12 to 15 under, somewhere between there.
Yeah.
Probably. If the weather is like this, if we are gonna see more wind, then it could be easily like 8 under as well. The total winning score, but interesting to see how it plays out through the week.
And the weather forecast still gives us a slight opportunity of a rainy Sunday. Rachel Turton, great 3rd shot, but that is her 3rd, so it's gonna be a bogey at best. We're gonna have to roll out that Zuka from the garage for Henna Blomroos. This was a great shot off the tee in the middle of the fairway. Thank you, Zuka, for sponsoring that throw and the event. 4 players currently under par for the round. Sonja Laine, 2 over. We have Kaidi Alsalu, Jenni Karppinen, Kristi Und. All 3 over par. Kaiti and Jenny still on the course. And just to remind you, on this very event, we are also battling for the scores for the Disc Golf Pro Tour. So from these Elite Series events on Disc Golf Pro Tour Europe, you will get full points for the Disc Golf Pro Tour. So the winner gets 100 points. Silva Saarinen here taking the par on 15. Alsalu throwing her second. This is looking great. Can it skip a bit down? Yeah, it can, and that's actually a bit long, but that's a great shot from Alsalu. It's really hard to see, but that slope is really, really heavy. Evelina took her shot down the fairway. And for this FPO basket on hole 14, the out of bounds is lurking on the left side, but the basket is actually just on the lowest part of the slope. So if you end up out of bounds, it most likely has gotten a really bad big skip from the green, or then your shot was just way too high. So it's pretty hard to end up there. Let's see what Rachel can do. It gets a skip towards the circle 1. And now it's time for Henna. The shot here to approach the basket is very specific. This is high. Can it settle down? Almost hitting the basket. And I believe Henna is just on the edge of the out of bounds. Talking about tied shots from the tee, here is Silva on hole 16, gets a great kick from the tree. The edge of the fairway. That's a gorgeous, gorgeous tee shot and gorgeous view from the tee. That is not the permanent tee number 1.
Yeah, you can't have much more straighter tunnel than that. So it's a laser straight tee shot, super low ceiling as well. So challenging all the players definitely.
Salonen wants this under the basket to cut the par. That's almost it. Edge of bullseye. Great to see her enjoying her time with disc golf. We've heard that she's actually been taking her chances on the ball golf courses, and of course another favorite game of hers, the paddle.
It's good to do also on off time some other activities, since the touring and playing tournaments every week can be a bit overwhelming sometimes and stressful, and all the traveling and all that stuff. So when you get back home, it's good to do also other activities that get your kind of mind off the game and kind of refreshing your mind, where the players kind of now going into this hectic summer season, and then end of the season is like where all the big tournaments are waiting. So lots of big tournaments coming up.
Alsalu for birdie. This would mean a lot for Kaiti. Just a bit low. Henna Blomroos putting for birdie. Teemu, Henna has now 6 birdies in a row. What is happening? She's on fire on the putting green. That's great to see.
Yeah, playing flawless at the moment. It's funny because like 8 holes ago, I was about to say that maybe the reason that she haven't played for a couple months, that she's a bit rusty, because she started very well, but then she played like a 6-7 holes, 3 over, and kind of missing their lines a little bit on every hole, missed a couple putts, and it was kind of
shaky.
Yeah, a bit shaky, and I was like, okay, maybe because she haven't played tournaments for a while.
And there she is,
could affect
proving
a
you
little
wrong.
bit. Yeah, and six birdies in a row, but because sometimes if you don't play for a while, the tournament golf is always a bit different than playing casually.
One of the most beautiful holes here in Luolavuori, and Silva Saarinen piercing the gap on her second shot. She's about 40 meters away from the basket still, so it's going to be a par at best for Silva. While Henna has taken the solo lead of the tournament, 5 down. She's 6 down through the last 6 holes. That's so great to see. And remind you folks, the disc golf season is in full swing, and here are your upcoming Disc Golf Network events. Remember, don't miss a moment, subscribe today. And remember to join the official DGPT club to play in exclusive tournaments and win exclusive prizes. Remember to stay with us, and if you want to see the last 2 rounds of this tournament, you can't watch it on YouTube. You have to subscribe to Disc Golf Network. Henna Blomroos giving us a clinic of driving and putting at this moment, and that's just a bit long. But looking at the straight, putt for another birdie on this hole 15. Kaiti, this a bit left. Doesn't survive.
And actually kick way left. That's deep in the
rough, yeah.
Yeah.
Salonen. This needs to hyzer and settle.
Yep.
That's great. In the circle. 334 feet, 102 meters, par 3 for both FPO and NPO. Out of bounds, lurking behind the basket. Rachel barely missing everything and almost in the bullseye, but I believe that's not quite the line she was aiming to proceed with.
Yeah, a little bit tight on the left side, but a very good end result, and desperately need birdies now. This is a beautiful hole, and it's also a good hole. You don't need OB there really. It's just like good length, a good shape of the hole, low ceiling, and beautiful hole.
And here are the dates for the upcoming events for the full swing in the disc golf season. remember to get your subscription today. The Preserve Championships coming up, Swedish Open, the Des Moines Challenge, and the Turku Open, 2 of those being Disc Golf Pro Tour Europe events and 2 Disc Golf Pro Tour events back in the States. Don't miss anything on Disc Golf Network. Saarinen throwing 3 and hitting the chain. Silva Saarinen really trying to give us more highlights here. He just had one of these back in the States, I believe. Throwing it in from way downtown. Just a bit too short for Saarinen. The crew has found Alsalu's disc. Alsalu finished second at the Silver Series Heinola Open last week. She took second in Copenhagen Open, second in Kari Kasari Pro 2024. Always there in the mix. She's a great Estonian player, but now she is in trouble. She's looking to lay up her second shot back on the fairway. With a sidearm roller. Trying to save a bogey. Really, really bad place to be from the tee of 15. This will be her turn still. Continue her way towards the basket, and she actually didn't quite get to the fairway. She has a flick forehand left. And that's short. She's still in circle 2. Things are not going Kaiti's way at the moment.
No, big time trouble there, and then especially rest of the card, they're putting birdie inside the circle. Kaiti's looking maybe a double bogey, so that would be 3-stroke swing, maybe on other players. So not very ideal stuff at the moment. And the last 3 holes, especially the next one, is probably, it has to be top 3 hardest hole on the course. 17 is gettable birdie, and then the 18 island hole. So Kaiti needs something to happen here on the last couple holes.
Yeah, the track is not getting any easier from here. Alsalu running this a bit too much right. She's looking at another double. Three birdie looks. First up from Rachel Turton, about 7 meters.
Yeah, Rachel have had a rough round today as well so far. This could help a little bit. And the struggles continue.
How about Evelina Salonen? She's been watching her best friend Henna make miracles happen on the putting green. And she answered that. No, that goes left for Evelina. She knows she didn't have the full focus there. She She's not happy. Don't worry, Eve, you still have time. Blomroos for the 7th birdie in a row. In the center, but just a bit low for Henna. Maybe even trying to make sure not to make any grand mistakes. That's going to be a par for Blomroos, ending the birdie streak. And now, how about the Estonian? Can she save the double bogey? Doesn't take any time. She takes the 5 and hole 15. So no birdies for the feature card number 1 on this hole 15. Silva Saarinen, 2 holes to go before the round is done. This is looking great for Saarinen. Just a bit too early turning to the right, but she's on the edge of the circle. But now some keys to success from the booth. It's windy up there, people. Luolavuori is known for elevating changes, and the winds from the sea that swirl around the place. The fairways are slanted, strong undulations and tilted fairways are prone to rolls. As we saw from Evelina on hole number 12 and many, many more, then it comes to forgetting what you just did. You have to focus on the moment. You have to focus on the very next shot, very next putt. You have to forget everything that has happened before.
Yeah, with these kind of tips, you will get a good score. Good score there, and we have seen all kind of scores today. And today, Henna have been able to do the best job. And Silva also only 1 bogey so far today, so they have played fairly clean golf today. And but yeah, big numbers, lots of birdies, lots of everything we have seen today.
Thank you, Black Ink Disc, for sponsoring those keys to success. Here is Henna Blomroos showing us how it's done on hole number 16. Very well executed.
And that's prime position, and we'll see. Can she attack all the way to the green? But this has to be, if not the hardest hole on the course, but top 3. Since it's long and narrow.
And that Salonen avoids the trees on the right. And she doesn't believe it herself.
Yeah, she's laughing. It's just like she pulled it to the right, but got favorable kick, and now she's in the sweet spot.
Rachel Turgeon relying on that straight mid-range of hers, but this needs to go left, and that's bad place to be. You're about 1.5 meters from the fairway, but you might have nothing. Kaiti Alsalu, 5 over par. This is picture perfect. Just a bit on the right side, but she still might have a chance to drive her way towards the basket. Hole 16 is 165 meters for the FPO. As you told us, Teemu, most certainly one of the hardest holes for the day. Currently playing as the hardest, as we are left to be seen how the feature card number 1 will play the hole eventually.
I believe 0 birdies so far today. And it is just very long and narrow. And I think even with the distance that Henna and Evelina has, with their second shot, it will take all of their power to get somewhere to the green.
And usually, the wind blows straight on your face through this tunnel, and you have to choose the disc wisely. If you choose too stable, you miscalculate the wind, you will end up on the left side on the rocks. That's a fine place to be, but that's not an easy spot to be looking at the birdie. And if you take too understable of a disc, the disc will turn towards the out of bounds on the right side. Luckily, the out of bounds is on a ridge, so if you cut roll to the side hill, it most likely stays in bounds, but there are many risks looking at this second shot. Here is Turton. She has a gap for the sidearm. She doesn't give it too much force. She's aiming to save the par. And that's a wise thing to do. 81% of the players completed this hole so far with a bogey. Blomroos totally has the distance. Wind is taking. Oh, and that's right for Blomroos. Does it kick too much to the right? That's huge. We are still waiting for confirmation if that is out of bounds right. There's a mandatory on the right, but that's done. A done deal with these players, so that doesn't come into play anymore. Kaiti Alsalu. This is looking great. Does she have the distance? Almost pin high. Great shot from Kaiti Alsalu, showing her skills in hole 16. At this moment, we have confirmation that Henna Blomroos is in bounds. Trying to save the par next. This is great for Eve. A bit on the left side. She's going with the sidearm. Does it ties her back? No, she's on the rocks. It seemed to me that she would be in the middle of the fairway. That was just a bit on the left.
Yeah, wanted to play safe and really turn it over and committed to that angle. Since the OB's lurking on the right of the basket, so going with the big sidearm, it was definitely a thing that needed to avoid, and kind of like put some extra angle to a disc. And Silva is playing already on the last hole, the round. It's an island hole and next to the drop zone, and that's 12 meters from the basket.
That is true. And all the people on the stands are watching you take that putt from the drop zone. If you miss the island, it can be nerve-wracking to take the drop zone putt for the par. Rachel Turton going patent pending for her third. Taking it low, and that's not a good shot for Turton. Blomroos is just safe. about a meter away from the out of bounds. Not a simple shot in this wind that needs to settle in. And she shows us why she's on the top here in Turku Open, the first day of the tournament. Great upshot. Saarinen just missing the birdie putt. Great birdie from her on hole 17 from 12 meters, the third circle 2 putt for birdie for Silva Saarinen this round. She's currently tied for the lead, 5 under with Henna Blomroos. It was close, just a bit low. Now she's putting for par in the bullseye, so she will end up taking 5 down at this Luolavuori disc golf course, the Stag. Turton laying up her 4th, so that will be a bogey. Evelina looking at the birdie though. Circle 2 area. That is the bedrock you are seeing there. Behind Evelina, just a bit high. Gonna take another par, so that will mark 7 consecutive holes for Evelin Salonen without a birdie. So she's 2 over for the last 7 holes. Before that, 4 birdies and 1 bogey, so currently 1 down for the tournament. She has a great sidearm for the hole 17 on the hillside, and she has great distance for the hole 18, so she can still gather up 2 birdies. Trying to catch Henna and Silva. How about Turton for the bogey? Too low. That's 3rd in a row for Rachel Turton. Tough time for the English. This is Henna Blomroos for the par. Great save.
Yeah, crucial to not give kind of easy strokes away. After a good tee shot, unfortunately hit the last guardian tree and was able to save a par. Evelina a par, and this hole is still the probably has to be one of the only ones, if not the only one, that we haven't seen a birdie all day. So with the par, you don't lose any strokes to the field.
Silva tapping in her par. Such a great round. Only 1 bogey in her card. Unfortunate. Hole 13. Out of bounds. Oh, sorry, actually Silva didn't have an out of bounds stroke on 13. She was just in bad placement regarding the natural bunkers.
We have our 1:42 p.m. tee time. First up on the tee from Numminen, Finland, sponsored by Four Chiefs Saloon, Turkka Maisala. on the tee from Turku, Finland, Emil Turkka.
Introducing Fractal Line Discs from Prodigy.
And rounding up the card
Fractal is the
from
new visual
Barcelona,
treatment
Finland,
joining Spectrum,
sponsored by
Glimmer, and
Discraft
Glow
Store.
as an additional
Jesper
aesthetic
Ilman.
variation. Fractal line discs utilize a new proprietary processing technique, splashing colors in a complex motif that can trick the eye into seeing patterns while each element remains distinctive and abstract. It's calming, chaotic, and completely one of a kind. Learn more at prodigydisc.com.
Open champion, Paul McBeth!
Introducing Fractal Line Discs from Prodigy. Fractal is the new visual treatment joining Spectrum, Glimmer, and Glow, flashing colors in a complex motif. It's calming, chaotic, and completely one of a kind. Learn more at prodigydisc.com.
Henna Blomroos and Silva Saarinen already done with her round. -5 in the clubhouse. Heidi Laine, -3. Great round from her earlier today. And our first feature card currently on hole number 17. Permanent hole number 6, but the FPO plays to a basket on the right side of the slope. Looking solid from Henna. What a shot from Blomroos in the bullseye, missing the trees on the right. Do you have anything, Teemu?
Yeah, that was pretty much picture perfect.
Salonen taking the sidearm. A little tucked in the trees, but inside circle 1. Doesn't like it. She still might have a look.
That will put Henna to -6 on the round. So
Kaiti Alsalu too early on the right. She's in circle 2. And Rachel Turton. Going high, going turnover. She really likes this disc a lot, but that's hyzering to the left, circle 2. And that's dangerous putt to run. And we can see we're back on live, and that's Rachel's putter under the basket. Par. How about Evelina? And she gets the birdie! Dangerous putt to run downhill with the crosswind, but she makes it happen.
yeah, that was definitely a scary putt. Green sloping right to left, wind, and Evelina likes to putt with a hyzer, but she put it a little bit more flat, that putt. Squeezed it into the basket, taking a great birdie. That will move Evelina to 2 under par.
Kaiti Alsalu also run the putt in the woods, and she gets the par from circle 1's edge through the woods. Really important save for Kaiti, currently sitting 5 over par. 10 strokes behind Henna Blomroos, and now 11. What a round for Henna Blomroos. What a back 10 for Henna Blomroos.
Yeah, it's been a great back 9 so far, and Yeah, the last hole is a very, very gettable as well. So let's see. All they have to do is make the island. It's wide open. It's right in front of you, but obviously a bit windy. So
let's go hear some thoughts from the clubhouse.
Silva Saarinen, excellent round, -5. How do you feel about your round?
I feel good. It was pretty nice round.
The wind is blowing quite strong. Has it affected your game?
Sometimes yes, but not really much.
And you are leading now, tied with Henna Blomroos. How do you feel about leading lead card tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Okay. Congratulations and good luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
And that was Silva Saarinen. She's gotten familiar with those placements on the top of the tournaments, and she's no stranger to those nerves in the lead card.
Yeah, very clean scorecard today. 5 under, only 1 bogey. I know that there is a couple more birdies definitely for Silva, but I think keeping the scorecard clean is key here, and we will see a great battle this weekend. And let's see if Henna can make one more birdie. It's a little bit early.
That looks to be Heisering. Stay in bounds. It does. Solid shot for Blomroos, although she's looking at a headwind putt.
Yeah, and the hay bales are 10 meter, pretty much 10 meter circle, and the back left corner there's a bit more room.
Almost hitting the basket for Evelina Salonen.
That's circle's edge as well.
Kaiti Alsalu. If you're throwing a driver, you want to take it from the right side. Is this too understable for Kaiti? Just not enough strength on that fade, and Kaiti Alsalu will be taking the drop zone. How about Rachel Turgeon? Rachel totally has the power. Over the basket, closest to the pin, 7 meters left for Rachel Turgeon, trying to get one birdie from the course come a moving day. Paragon stats from Henna Blomroos. Fairway hit 72%. But Circle 1 in regulation 65, parked 29%, leading the stats for the whole field. And Circle 2 in regulation 65%, that's second. Pretty solid stats, would you say?
Yeah, that tells a lot what she have done today. Great driving throughout the day, but that's what she's known for. Her stats looking mostly like that also in states. So, and when the putter gets not, doesn't even have to be hot. If it gets warm,
solid, yeah,
then she will be top of the leaderboards. Let's see if Kaiti can save the par, but this is extremely headwind putt, as we can see on the flag. She will Here's the step putt.
Too low power. So Kaiti Alsalu looking at the bogey. Circle 1. Henna Blomroos 11 meters. This will be her first circle to make, but that's under the basket. She's going to take a par. But she will be going to the moving day, second day of the tournament, with 1 stroke lead over Silva Saarinen. Salonen, really soft run, but she's under the basket for the par. She will be 4 strokes behind the leader. Second day.
The wind is crucial.
Too low.
It is just.
Rachel Turton really having a struggle on the putting green at this moment. We've seen many low putts from her. She has the evening and the night to gather her thoughts for the next day, trying to chase those leaders.
Next on the team from Dyressala, Sweden, Max Ringbo.
Pars we picked up from Henna Blomroos and Evelina Salonen, both of which are going to be on the lead card tomorrow. 4 Finnish players will be starting their round last tomorrow in your field.
It's already 4 strokes that separates the last from lead card to the first on the chase card. So Sonja Laine 5th place currently +2, and Evelina is in 4th place -2. So already some separation after round 1, but kind of no surprise. Those first 4 players were the kind of best players on this tournament. So that is also what we're expecting from them, being on the top, being on the lead card. And I think this is relatively long course as well, so this course gives a big advantage if you're good on driving. So no surprises there. And here's the leaderboard. As I told, Henna leading, Silva 2nd, Heidi 3rd, and then Evelina will be the 4th player tomorrow on the lead card. After that is pretty packed. Sonja Laine, Kristi, Jenni Karppinen, Jenni Engström, Katie Tätten,
Kristina Dottir, yeah, tied 8th place, +5. What would it take from someone from the feature card to rise up to challenge Henna and Silva if they keep playing like that? It's going to be really tough.
Yeah, I mean, and I think the players from chase card, they need a little bit help from the leaders as well. So they need a bad day for Henna and Silva.
Let's go see the Innova Hot Round from the FPO on day 1 of Turku Open 2024. Luolavuori Disc Golf Course. Edited layout by Seppo Paju, the Stag, Henna Blomroos. And that's 9 birdies, 3 bogeys. Henna Blomroos is walking off the course with the hot round of the day. Brought to you by Innova Discs.
Yeah, and I believe on this round 6 down, there is still room for slight improvements, but I still think that the 8 down could be the hot round of the week.
Let's hear from the leader of the tournament, Henna Blomroos. She's in the clubhouse. Let's see what she has to say.
Henna Blomroos, congratulations. You're leading now the DGPT Turku Open. How do you feel?
Thank you. I feel pretty good. The round was fun and yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, there's a swirling wind that it's changing directions. It's open, it's wooded. It's not easy to play with this wind.
No, it's really hard here, especially with the tight OBs and open putting greens. So it's hard, but yeah.
You had maybe a tough stretch from holes 3 to 8, something like this, and then you went full gas, started chaining birdie after birdie. Did it change something in your game, or it was just the holes that were coming?
No, I didn't change anything. I just had a bad holes there, and I knew that I can throw better and do everything better. So just one click, and I found the drive again, and I made a couple putts. So yeah.
Excellent. How do you feel about your chances tomorrow?
I don't think that yet, but yeah, I'm going to play my own game and enjoy the course because this is so lovely place and great course, and my family and friends are able to come see, so this is so fun.
Playing at home is always a plus. Congratulations.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow.
See you.
And that is it. The FPO has finished their round for the opening day in Turku Open 2024. What to take away from this? We have 6 Finnish players on the top, 5 Finnish players on the top. Then we have one Estonian challenging them. It's going to be interesting moving day tomorrow, Teemu.
Yeah, definitely. But I still expect that the lead card will play their own game, and then it's the rest of the players. Extremely strong lead card tomorrow. I'm expecting another hot round tomorrow, and let's see if Evelina was struggling a little bit today, can she give a little bit pressure to the leaders?
How about the OTB shot of today? What would that be? I would say maybe the putt from Silva Saarinen.
Yeah, I was about to say the same. Silva Saarinen, I believe it was hole 3 or 4, but 18-meter putt. Let's see what it was. OTB shot of the day.
And it's actually the drive from Henna Blomroos on hole 13. This was great. It had all the things going on.
Yeah, definitely this needs full power, big hyzer flip.
Need to trust the wind and the turn. And it gets through.
Bullseye.
Such a great shot from Henna Blomroos, and we believe she's not backing up now.
No, definitely, and it was first round after almost 2 months without playing. Last time she played a Champions Cup, which was end of April, so I was expecting a little bit rusty playing, but nope, 6 down, hot round, leading the tournament, so what a way to start the tournament.
What a way to start your summer with disc golf. And we are going to have another broadcast, of course, this afternoon in about 3 hours. 2.5 hours, the MPO will start their round. We're already seeing some great scores there. Here you can see the broadcast times for the weekend. So the FPO will start every morning, 10 a.m. local time, and 4:40 p.m. will start with the MPO. And we hope you enjoyed your time with the FPO opening round. So we'll see you in a couple of hours with the MPO live on Disc Golf Network, and of course YouTube for this first round. Remember to get your subscriptions, and we hope to see you in the afternoon. Thank you from me, Esa-Pekka Tupala, with me, Teemu Nissinen.
Thank you, and we catch you guys in a couple hours.